Okay, so today's channel message is revolving around bridging the gap between the past and the present, childhood versus adulthood. For a lot of us, even with the last couple channel messages, there were some things coming up to the surface that needed to be acknowledged or healed. And so what I wrote today was that there's this energy of, again, bridging the gap between the past and the present, childhood and adulthood, and that it may initially present itself as something needing healing, acceptance, or acknowledgement. But once that process is complete, what it does is it ushers in this energy of a second wind, WIND. But it could be something, it could be a play on words, second wind. But I guess that would be case specific. But anyways, so that second wind could present itself as new ideas, newfound. I kept getting new identity, something about a new identity, but that could be, if someone is healing something from the past, or finding out something about themselves that may just cause them to have a new outlook on life or outlook on themselves, so that may present as a new identity, or even being reconnected with some childhood dreams or inspirations that were buried over time. So what this does is opens you up to new opportunities or pathways that you may not have seen or been open to before. And so basically, I was just channeling how there was a part of us as a collective that was still hurting. There was a part of us that was still stuck somewhere in the past, crying out for validation, crying out for love, acknowledgement, acceptance. But that part of us had been buried or stuck in that space for so long that we couldn't even recognize that it was there, even though it directly affects us in the day-to-day. For some of us, it's been with us so long, it became either a part of your identity, which would be why, after acknowledging and healing it and letting go of it, or aka releasing it, it would cause this new identity energy. For some of us, it became a part of our defense mechanism or coping mechanisms. But in the beginning, I talked about building this bridge. And so what that bridge does is it allows this current present version of you to go back into the past and sit with that version of yourself that's still hiding, still afraid, still scared, still, like I said, needing that validation or that attention. And it allows you to sit with that version, love on that version, acknowledge that version, aka whether that be fears, whether that be, like I said, perceptions or childhood traumas. But it allows you to sit with that version of yourself and like I said, give it what it needs, so that it can feel safe enough to cross that bridge, so that it can feel safe enough to leave that dark space that it's been in for so long. Know that it's okay. Know now that it doesn't have to be stuck there by itself. And it gives it the courage to move forward. And so once those two parts of yourself are connected, what that does is it allows you to move forward more whole and more complete with more parts of yourself. Let's see. Yeah, so But what I said specifically, I said there was still a part of you deep down somewhere that was still hurting. And that bridge allowed you to go back into the past to that part of you needing love, protection, acknowledgement, and sit with it, cry with it, hug it, love it, and finally give it the validation and reassurance it needed to know that it's safe to cross that bridge now. Very specific though, because I made a mistake and wrote bride instead of bridge. So for someone specific that may come across this, someone could be having kind of second guesses. They could be getting married or engaged, and they could be having some second guesses or getting cold feet and not realizing that it's something that's stemming from their childhood. But that's not for everybody. Let's see. It doesn't have to stay stuck there in that dark place all alone and afraid anymore. I said once these parts of yourself are connected, it gives you the chance to move forward more whole, more complete, more enthusiastic, more playful, optimistic, open-minded, more lighthearted. Yeah, I said for some of you this was carried for so long that you really don't even know life without it. And that's what made me think about childhood traumas. This could have been something that happened to you as a kid. I still got the cards pulled up. But this could have been something that happened to you very young. And, you know, you, like I said, it's something that you carry with you all the way into adulthood. But look how close you are with this thing. Whatever it is, this dog is representing whatever that this thing is. It's something that happened then that's affecting you now. This is the bridge here. But not only that, this is the bridge here too. But what you're going to see, you're going to start seeing, because this Two of Wands came in reverse, which tells me, like, you know, you may have been at a point where you felt like you knew what path you wanted to be on. You knew what you wanted to do with your life. And now that this has come up, it's kind of making you, I'm not going to say second guess. I mean, it could be second guessing, but I was getting more so just being more open-minded to opportunities that you were not open-minded, that you were not open or available to, or a vibrational match to before. Let me see. So I had the Three of Swords in reverse, and this is that part of you that needed that healing, that needed that acknowledgement. Like you were trying to hold it together, and you had, for the most part, done a job, I'll say. But there was still those rips and those tears in your foundation, your root chakra. So some of you, because I know I have been working on my root chakra healing. But this is that part of you still crying out, still screaming out, still in that dark place. But this right here is that energy of that second wind. This is you releasing that, letting go, and just feeling that, or feeling at least some pressure being released. With that Page of Wands energy. So that you may find yourself reflecting on some of the dreams you had as a child, and or ideas or hobbies, and kind of picking those things back up or getting reconnected with those things. But yeah, so that's what I got for us today. I'll be back with another message soon. Peace. I guess I gotta come back and mention that I guess for some of you it's gonna actually help you let your guard down, as to not be so guarded, to let a little bit of the world in and being more open to love, to relationships, to connection, to family, and to your own emotions. Whether that's creating your own family or even the family that you come from. But this is how guarded, you've had to be and have been over the years. And so basically this is a life for you with vulnerability and openness. And so that's a new pathway.